Welcome to Hotline TV. I'm Amy Walter.
And I'm John Mercurio. Amy, it's so nice to have you
Thanks.
back in the studio after your little vacation to help write Sarah Palin's resignation speech up in Alaska.
That's how I got so tan.
How'd
It's
that work?
very sunny.
How'd that work out for you?
It got great reviews, didn't it?
It did. It did. We've
Right?
been covering it. All right, I have a question for you today, Amy
Yeah.
Walter. Have you ever wanted to be someone else?
Have I ever?
Yes. All right, well, today we're going to play a game. We're going to play a game called Who Would You Rather Be? It's a fun little game we play here sometimes on Hotline TV. Basically throwing out two names and deciding between the two of them and their current political circumstances which person you would rather be. Let's go.
All right, let's start
play the
it.
game. All right, I'm going
All
to
right.
start off the first one. Senator John Ensign or South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford? Go.
All right, here's the thing. I would rather be South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford.
Interesting.
Bottom line, he's termed out, so he wasn't going to try to run for re-election.
Well, but there was that
I don't know how serious
2012
he was,
thing.
and I think he was seriously looking at it. But from folks that I talked to about it, I don't know if this guy was really the kind of person who had the fire in the belly needed for a 2012 election. Number 3, very good-looking girlfriend.
Very good-looking girlfriend.
And
always helps.
His wife
But
is
now he
now saying he's
can't-
going to come back to
But
him.
now he
She also
can't-
seems great.
Now he can't be with the girlfriend anymore. I would rather be
Theoretically-
Senator John Ensign. I don't think he's fallen as far. He's still a senator. Sure, he had to step down from his Republican leadership position, but I don't think, I mean, if you talk about Sanford being a dark horse in 2012, listen, John
You think
Ensign,
Ensign was a further dark horse?
I think he was a further dark horse than Mark Sanford. Absolutely.
such a word as further dark
Plus,
horse?
on a personal level, look, Ensign clearly does not mind the fact that his relationship is over. Sanford is torn and is
Except
terribly
now we find out that
personally
he
devastated.
was torn. That's what the husband is saying now, that he
I
was
still-
relentlessly pursuing her. He paid her off $25,000. Now Tom Coburn's caught in this. I don't know. It seems
That's
like
an
this
interesting
keeps.
story.
It seems like this keeps swirling. The Sanford stuff, as far as we know, is over. At least he keeps. And when he does open
Well-
his mouth, it just is about his own internal foibles rather than something that could be potentially criminal.
I'd still rather be John Ensign, although I will say one thing that would make me rather be Mark Sanford is I would not want to have John Ralston on my tail
No.
on this story. But moving right along, we've got a
All
lot
right.
of other people to go through.
All right. Now, we're still in South Carolina here with Lieutenant Governor Andre Bauer,
Ooh.
or the newly appointed Lieutenant Governor of New York, Ravitich.
Ravitich.
Right.
Yes, the newly appointed, just appointed yesterday by David Patterson. Look, no offense to the new Lieutenant Governor of New York, Ravitich, but I would rather be Andre Bauer. He's still got a political future. I mean, politically speaking, I would rather be Andre Bauer. He still has a political future. He probably won't become governor in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
It looks like
Looks like
Sanford's
that's-
going to survive, but he's still, running for office, and he's still someone who I think remains a player in state politics. Ravitich, no offense to the elderly gentleman, but listen, what role will he play in what now looks to be, one of the most unsuccessful administrations in New York political history?
And here's another reason not to be Ravitich, which is you may not be Lieutenant Governor for long. The courts
Exactly.
could decide at any
Would
moment.
would you want to go up against Andrew Cuomo in a political/legal fight, constitutional fight in New York? I would not.
Well, unless what you think this could be my legacy is that I could break the stalemate. He's, as you pointed out, an older gentleman. This could be his final, for political purposes. He doesn't want to be governor. Bauer obviously does. Here could be a chance for him to just do something that could break open what has been a long-running stalemate, write himself a better, political story than
Interesting.
1989 failed mayoral candidate.
Interesting.
Would you rather be
Yes.
Mark Kirk, congressman from Illinois running for the Illinois Senate,
Right.
or ex-congressman Pat Toomey running for
Interesting.
Pennsylvania Senate?
Lots of different ways to look at this.
Indeed,
All right,
there
I
always
think
are.
there always are. We'll try to narrow it down a little bit. I think Mark Kirk just decided yesterday to get in right after Lisa Madigan decided not to run. So clearly he was very concerned about a race against her, a potential race against her on the Democratic side. Is giving up a relatively safe House seat. Yes, he had a tough
Relatively
race
safe.
in 06 and 08, but
Right.
still a relatively safe House seat to run for a race that he might lose. Pat Toomey, having stepped down only from as being president of Club for Growth, is really looking at a big promotion. I gotta say, I'd rather be Pat Toomey. I think he's a movement conservative. He either wins this race and becomes the real darling of the conservatives in the Senate in 2010, or he loses. And he still maintains a high profile in the part of the Republican Party that he clearly cares the most about.
very interesting.
Well, thank you. I
think that-
try hard.
You know what? I'm gonna go with that logic.
Okay.
I think that works quite well. All right, and then we'll end it with actually the two current sitting senators.
Yes.
Kirsten Gillibrand of New York, or as we just talked about, Arlen Specter. I think this one's a lot easier.
Okay.
Maybe it's not.
Well, you go. You tell me, and I'll agree with you.
First of all, I think it's a lot easier to be Gillibrand today, simply because it looks like she's not going to have a general election contest.
Probably
Specter
not.
wins if he wins his primary, he still has a general election. If he doesn't win his primary, well, then he doesn't.
But he's
win his
got
primary.
a general election against Toomey, which probably won't be as competitive.
Yeah, but it's better than against nobody, which
Right.
right now Gillibrand faces. Gillibrand's going to have the support of the establishment, which may or may not matter, but I think she will prove to be a much stronger fundraiser than Carolyn Maloney will be, and Maloney will not be as strong as fundraiser as Sestak will be against Specter.
That's true. The argument that you can make as a Democratic candidate running against one of these two is much easier for Sestak to make against
Yes.
Specter, I think, than it is for Maloney to make against Gillibrand. Yes, Gillibrand is a little bit to the right of Maloney and to the
And
liberal
yes, she's
base of the
flip-flopped
party.
on a lot of.
But she doesn't. But Maloney won't have what Sestak has, which is years and years and years a paper trail of Specter having
Yes.
not just voted with the Republican Party, but being endorsed by the Republican Party, being active in Republican
Right.
politics. So you're right. I would rather, in that situation, for my own political survival, be Gillibrand.
All right.
All right,
Well,
so we agree.
we agreed on that one. That was good.
That was nice.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we are out of time.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. They made me say that.
Oh, I get it. But I thought you wanted to be
Wouldn't
these
want
people.
to, but I wouldn't want to be the other people. All right, that's all we've got time for today. We'll talk to you later.